Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a game called Fernbus Simulator. We are playing on PC today, and this is a game which has been out for a number of years on PC, and it is a game which will soon be released on Xbox Series consoles and PS5, although we don't have a release date as of yet. Now, having played this game for a little bit now on PC, and having played some previous releases on console from this studio and publisher, I just thought I'd give you a bit of a insight into what I think the console release will be like, which should give you hopefully a bit of advice and maybe help in some way, even though obviously, disclaimer, the console version is not released yet. There's no demos as far as I know, no previews as of yet. And I'm just starting up this bus. I'm also going to switch on the aircon. So yeah, just having played previous releases from Aerosoft and also the developer TML, I think generally speaking TML do a good job on what they've done so far, although there are some things which are a bit iffy, especially on console. So they are responsible for the likes of the bus and also Fernbus Simulator, which is a game that we've covered on this channel previously on Xbox Series X. And yeah, I mean, Aerosoft obviously are a publisher that we've covered quite a few games for. If you look back through my channel, you'll be able to spot the games, and they do work with a number of different developers. I think, you know, the main one that we've covered, the main one that most people who own a console that we're looking for a truck simulator would know of is On the Road Truck Simulator, which was a massive disappointment. So generally speaking, I would say that game really let everybody down. Gameplay as such isn't too bad, I'd say that's the positive, but there is a number of shortcomings. Whoa, I mean, I could have used the horn there, but I would have been a bit late, I think, by the time I'd figured out what that person was doing. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the downsides to this game really, is the AI. But going back to On the Road Truck Simulator for just a moment, as we are in Frankfurt here, another city which is included in that game, is to talk about just how much of a letdown that game was in terms of what is this person doing? I mean, really, dude. And this is the type of thing that you need to put up with this game, unfortunately, on the PC, at least, as we've just crashed going backwards as well. No, one of the key issues is AI. And it's common with not only this game, also the bus, and also Fernbus Simulator, which in a lot of ways share a lot of likenesses, and I can understand why some people think that they're a kind of reskin of each other, because they feature similar buses, they feature similar feeling gameplay in terms of the driving, and generally speaking it does feel like they look very similar as well in terms of, you know, there's not much to set them apart from the cities that you're in and some of the key features. So I'm just trying to concentrate on my driving a little bit while I'm talking as well, but for this particular run we are going to be doing a pickup in Frankfurt City, and then we're going to drive to the airport where we will do a drop-off, kind of a shuttle service really, that's what it's classed as here. So yeah, going back to On the Road Truck Simulator, so as far as I know, a lot of the promises weren't met. I played that game over a period of time. I originally picked it up and then I asked for a refund because it was so bad. I was looking for a game that I wasn't expecting a game that was like Euro Truck Simulator as such, but I did expect something more of an effort, shall we say, than what was actually put out there with even the final product, and I think that game is pretty much abandoned now. Sorry guys, I'm just a little bit concerned about this AI traffic here now. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a jam going on, and that's caused by that car behind us not turning properly, and now I need to try and figure out how we're going to get through here. And this is a common problem. You can turn the eye traffic down. At the moment we're not on 100%. But as as you can see, we've got a car trying to turn. And it's just not going to happen. These guys are going nowhere. So I'm literally going to have to push my way through here if I want to deal with this. And that was a crash. But this to me just obviously spoils the realism. We won't look at what we potentially knocked over there as a result of just having to mount the curb. But anyway, yeah. Okay, we're back on the way anyway. But back to the topic at hand. So, what I want to talk about is this game going to be any good? Is it going to be any good on console? Because I will say it runs fairly decently on PC. I don't know whether you can tell, but generally speaking, we've got a fairly decent frame rate here. Graphics are looking pretty decent considering how old this game is. As I say, it's a fair number of years old now, and so it's not new. Like, it's not as new as the Bus, or even Tourist Bus Simulator. It's older than that, and finally it's getting a release on console. Now, I could understand if you're a console gamer, obviously being excited about this one, because so far on console you really haven't had much of a choice. The platter's kind of very limited. I would say probably Bus Simulator's your best option on console so far. Tourist Bus Simulator's decent on console. And then you've got a few other ones which are a bit sort of hit and miss really. But what I will say is, even the likes of Tourist Bus Simulators a little bit, it's let down by the fact that AI is an issue. The actual interface is an issue as well, and the way the game works is just, it's very, very obscure. It doesn't really explain things. But, similar to this one, this doesn't really explain anything either, so you just got to make your own game, really, which is, something that you're either going to love or going to hate. From what I understand, you get all of the DLC included in the console version. Now, even that in itself is a bit dubious to me, because obviously, for PC gamers, they've, have had to pay for the DLC, they've had to pay for the extra cities and things like that. But you get generally I think it's the entire map unlocked to start off with on console, which is an attractor, I'm sure, but why are they doing that, Is there some reason why you would need to do that on console to attract people to buy it? Right, I'm just going to check these guys and then we'll continue this discussion. Who are you? So, we've got to check these guys in pretty quickly really if we're going to get them to the airport on time. Oh, they're there. Okay.
Hello? Here, mein Ticket.
Okay. Let's see. Yep, you're there.
Vielen Dank.
How about you, fella? That's you. Oh, yeah. And Jim?
Der Bus kann könnten Sie bitte die Gepäck...
Oh, yeah, sure. Luggage, you said. I think it's one of these. See, the thing is, when you roll the mouse to roll down on that screen as well, to scroll down, then you end up with this zoomed out view as well. Okay, everybody's luggage is on now. Right, let's see if you're here, man. Yep.
Auf geht's.
Next.
Grüezi, bitte sehr.
I think I'll just stick with using this scroll bar. Yeah.
Servus, Sie wollen bestimmt mein Ticket sehen.
Yep.
Ciao.
Haven't come across anybody who's trying to get on that hasn't got a ticket so far yet. Let's see, Hoffman. Nope. Oh, they've got a valid ticket. Did I miss them there? Let's check again. Leonie Hoffman. Oh, yeah. Apologies. When you get. Right, you're not there. Neither are you. There's only 3 people left to get on here.
Mein Ticket.
Yeah.
Jetzt bin ich hier richtig.
Yeah.
Danke sehr.
And lastly, I believe,
Sie ist das gültig?
Dankeschön.
I think we've got a full house, so it's just these two potential twin sisters here left behind. We'll close this. And we'll close this door as well. We'll take a seat. Right, so we're heading to the airport. We'll indicate out. Parking brake off.
Kein Balken.
Wi-Fi
Was ist denn mit dem
clearance.
WLAN los?
Okay, hold on, dudes. Let's have a look. Sorry, I forgot about all this. Let's see. So, Wi-Fi clearance, kitchen. I don't know if you've got a kitchen or not, but we'll switch it on. Restroom clearance, reading lights, passenger light. We'll do an announcement. There we go. Right, okay. That should be it. Let's get going. Okay, so back to the discussion at hand. I think if you're a console player, I would treat this with caution. I don't think you're going to get a demo, let's put it that way, which would be nice, wouldn't it? It's nice to try it out beforehand. So if I were you, if I was on Xbox, I would proceed with caution. If you're going to make a purchase from the Xbox store, I would say that's probably a good way to go, as long as you haven't had many refunds so far, because they generally tend to honour the refunds, from my experience. When I've had performance issues with games, like for example On the Road and a number of other games that I've had issues with, they do refund pretty quickly, as long as you haven't played the game kind of excessively, and as long as you haven't had like tons of refunds in the last, I think it's 12 months. I'd also, if you're going with a physical purchase, I'd probably go with Amazon, because you can get a refund there pretty easy by just simply saying that the product doesn't work. Not that I'm recommending exploiting these things, but if the game genuinely is rubbish, I wouldn't think twice about getting a refund for it. So this is the way that I would do it if I was going to purchase this game on console. I'd proceed with caution, because, as I say, often these games with Aerosoft, generally, I've noticed there's a number of their games that are unfinished. And even Fernbus Simulator could have done with a couple of things that it didn't have. So it did have wheel support on Xbox. As far as I know, on PlayStation it had wheel support. Don't know, I didn't ever play the PlayStation version. But one thing that it didn't have was quick glance, which even on the Road Truck Simulator that had quick glance, where if you double tapped the D-pad, either left or right, you could look. Now. So I'm using an eye tracker, and when I turn my head, when I look with my eyes, the camera moves for me, which is very nice. I could also do this with the mouse, but on console I had no option to do this using a mouse. I mean, neither game On the Road nor Fernbus Simulator had even keyboard and mouse support. That would have helped a great deal, because you could have just used the mouse to glance. What's this person doing? They're kind of halfway across. But yeah, I mean, these are the things that, the quality of life things, which can get very annoying very fast and kind of spoil the entire thing. As I say, the main letdown with this version is the AI, which is the same with the bus and the same with Fernbus Simulator. And as far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be many improvements being made to these things, because we still have cars cutting across directly in front of where we're driving, just kind of so recklessly. Even police cars just, I mean, cutting directly in front of where you're driving. And some of these things, I mean, if you compare this with the likes of Euro Truck Simulator, you don't really get that. The AI isn't perfect in many games. It's not perfect in many games these days, but these are things which should be outlined. I mean, especially major traffic jams caused by a car cutting across. I mean, And look at this person, what are they doing? And that one. And this one as well, look. It's like they're into a floor. What are you doing? So what are my options here then? So I could reverse. But then I've got traffic coming from over here. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Whoa. What was that? That could have been me, that one. I'll hold my hands up. I occasionally don't leave enough space on the sides because I'm not used to driving, you know. What I've found is with this particular bus as well, with the buses in these games, you have to drive what's seemingly right on the line. And if I look up in the mirror there, you see I'm quite a way off the line. I'm at least a foot off the line. But yeah, I'm just cautiously watching out for AI cutting in front of me as well. Okay, so back to the discussion. So what I would say is I would proceed with caution for any console gamers. I wouldn't get too excited if I were you, even though I appreciate that, you know, for this game to come to console is quite a big thing. I would just take it very steadily. I would say, moving on to graphics, I'd say you're probably going to see fairly decent resolution. I'd say decent as in passable resolution. The AI honestly is an absolute shocker. So passable resolution, although nothing which will blow you away, nothing mind-blowing. Performance-wise, I'd guess it's going to probably be 30 FPS. So I've seen some of the early versions of this game running, which Aerosoft have shown on their channel, which I think is Next Sim. I think that's the name of their channel. And it looks like it's 30 FPS, if that. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. If you've ever checked out any of my videos of Autobahn Police Simulator 3, it's kind of similar to that in that it looks rough in terms of FPS. And this is my main point, I think, and what we come down to. It seems like the PC versions of these games run okay, as this truck driver's just not giving me any space whatsoever here. It seems like the PC versions of these games are the ones that Aerosoft focus on and get developers to make good, at least they're, you know, passable. Seems like on Steam you tend to get a rather decent review for a lot of these games. You know, they're classed as very good or generally positive. I think Fernbus Simulator's got mixed reviews, but at least there's that. As where if you go on the Xbox store or PlayStation store and you search for Aerosoft and you look at some of their games and their back catalogue of games on console, you'll see that people are not satisfied. They are dissatisfied with the releases, and the reason for that is because the games are not finished. I mean, they're just not focused on. They're not focused on making these games good, making them finished, making them, you know, a quality product that people will be happy with. And I think that's very sad. I think it is sad for console players, and I think it's sad that there's almost like, you know, without being too harsh, there's like a manipulation in the market in some ways, because obviously, you know, consoles are very popular. You know, Series X, Series S, you know, PS5, very popular consoles. And there's definitely a market there which is open to be, oh, look at this dude, open to be manipulated, and it's a shame that it often feels like that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting out a game onto these platforms and just doing it for cash, and it's sad. If that's the case, then it's really sad. If they're trying their best, then that's, you know, a different story. But it doesn't seem that way. That's what I'm saying. There's not enough evidence to support that they're trying their best, because the games are not finished. They're not finished, and yeah, that's the state of affairs, I think. So that's why I really would tread with caution and just weigh up your options, you know. And also check out Bus Simulator. I think the latest one, Bus Simulator 21. I had it on Xbox. I didn't actually check it out too much. I played a lot of 18. Just try and get the right way here, because there's a number of different ways you can come into this airport. And I think we're on the right one here. There we go. Right, we're going to let these folks off and then we'll see how we've done.
Das ist ja kaum zu glauben.
For schedule, yeah, even with all the talking. Right, let's just jump off and see. Get your bags out of there as well. Oh, it looks like you already have. Oh, well done. Didn't park too badly there as well. I normally, well, I have mounted the curb. Yeah, I need to work on that, because that's very poor actually. Alright, let's close this door. Wow, are we trapped? We're trapped? Oh, there we go. Right, okay, so we're going to take a look at our phone, I think, to finish. Complete. So it doesn't even tell you how to finish, which is another thing. You have to kind of figure out what you're doing. And as much as, like, look at this airport, it's pretty decent, right? And driving out of here, you know, if you do that, you'll see yourself. The road structure and everything like that is very nicely done. But there is a lot of shortcomings, which, you know, we've established as we've been playing here. Let's see how we got on. Generally, good. Passengers transported 12. And stops complete. We did our 2. Refueling, we didn't need any fuel. We didn't run out of fuel. And we've done about 73 Ks. Got some nice XP. And also, just here as well, we were on schedule. We weren't late. We got our Wi-Fi clearance on, although it was a little bit late. Traffic rules, properties damaged 4. Well, I'll accept some of the responsibility for that, although, you know, at least some of it was caused by cars blocking the way and driving behaviour. Driven on road, 87% of the time. Okay, we need to work on not mounting the curb, I think. And speed limits maintained. Well, maybe we were outside a little bit. I'm not too sure. Safety distance broken, 14. Okay, I'm prepared to accept that. We'll continue. And that's about it, guys. You kind of make your own routes. You have to unlock cities as you go. Yep, I can't see the console version being any different in that regard. I think you're going to have to figure a lot of it out for yourself. It's probably not going to tell you. Even if you look online, you will find some information, mainly from other users. But I'll just zoom out on this map as well, just to give you a bit of a view of what you get. So as you can see, I think this is what we get in this base version of the game. I think there'll be more opened up in the DLCs. But yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit me up with a like and let me know in the comments section if you're thinking of picking this game up on console and what your thoughts are. If you think it's a good idea or not, or if you've played any of the previous Aerosoft/TML games. I want to thank you so much for coming through, and I'll catch you again soon.